Yeah.
Hey, everybody, it's Dale Jr. For the Dale Jr. Download. This is the Ask Jr. Portion of the segment presented to you by our friends at Nationwide. Leah is at the controls right now taking your questions. Appreciate everybody for tuning in and pouring into the to our YouTube channel. And if obviously you follow Dirty Mo Media on YouTube, follow us on all the other social media handles, Twitter, Instagram, and so forth. Support the Dirty Mo Media platform. What we got, Leah?
First question, Jane from Michigan wants to know, how many times a day do you Google something?
Oh, man. Probably don't even realize that. You know when I branded my arm a long time ago?
DMP?
We put a brand on our arm. Somebody gave me a steak brander, and we got drinking one night and thought, man, we should all brand ourselves. We're buddies. Let's do it. And you don't know how many people slap you on the arm every day until you have a brand trying to heal, and it hurts like hell when anybody touched it. And so I bet that we Google 5 to 10 times more than we realize. I'll probably Google a dozen things today. What do you think, Mike?
Already?
Wow.
No, not already.
Oh,
During the day.
During the day, a dozen?
That's
Yeah.
a lot.
But you know what? I mean, I think he's right. I think that you Google, I bet I'm probably pushing 10 maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I
for
was going to
sure.
say like 3 to 5.
No.
Listen, you think about just in our conversations when we're talking about something, we need instant research. We'll just Google it without it's almost like muscle memory,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Yesterday, for example, I have a lot of old racing programs in the bathroom at the house. And when I go in there, do my business, I sit down and I read these old programs, and I see these names of drivers in these lineups and finishing orders and so forth. And I'm like, I wonder what kind of career that guy had. Google. I go over to the phone.
Reference.
Yeah, I go over the phone. I'm like, Steve Christman. I wonder how many races he ran in the Cup Series. Bobby Wallwack, and wonder what Bobby Allison's career was like after 1984. Did he have how many top fives did he have next year? Just start Googling random stats in motorsports. And so that's at least 5. I do that at least 4 or 5 times a day. Googling something.
Specific racing type.
Yeah, something historic in racing. And it's usually 9 times out of 10 I go to Racing Reference, which I did not know. I think I heard it was owned by NASCAR, right? Racing
Yeah,
Reference.
they
What?
just bought them.
Are you
Yes.
serious?
They bought them. Racing Reference
Yeah.
was going to shut down, and NASCAR actually bought it. Yeah.
Damn right.
Wow.
Thank
For
you.
that, they needed to
Thank
because their
you.
site never had crap on it about
Dude,
old history.
Thank you, NASCAR, because I use Racing Reference daily
Yeah.
for something. It's
I
crazy.
use it a lot too.
Oh, yeah.
All right, moving on.
Moving on.
So who was that from, Jane?
Yeah, Jane from Michigan, a.k.a.
Well, hey,
Leah from right here.
What's funny, by the way, is that what the people at YouTube don't realize is that we just got done wrapping up a conversation about the things that we've done because we were drunk.
Yeah.
Things that we've done, and being branding yourself never came up in Dale's example. And I could see that Leah was like,
I was like, what the heck?
That you branded yourself, and that wasn't even remotely the craziest thing you've done, right?
Yeah, that shocked me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right.
I reckon, a lot of, college football players are often, use brand themselves with their team's logo or whatever. You see.
You do.
And so
Yeah.
we thought, one day Josh started it. He was going to take bottle caps and put Olympics rings on his arm with bottle caps, which was a terrible idea, of course. But we had the steak brander, and it said DMP, and we're like, man, let's brand our arms. Yeah, stupid idea. It's awful.
Oh, well.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
All right, Jessica Ogden. She wants to know what other sports you would like to be a part of hosting or broadcasting.
That's tough to answer. I love doing the races, and selfishly, I'd love to broadcast the Daytona 500. Our own races, and outside of NASCAR and Cup events, I think, I'm doing it. Like I'd love to be able to go to the Olympics a few more years. I don't know how long NBC plans to send me to those, so I'm just hoping to even go to the next one if that's an option. The Olympics was such a great experience because it's about the best athletes in the world, and they're all dedicated their whole lives to this moment. So just being around that and experiencing all the countries sort of get together for one cause is a great feeling. You're obviously proud of the United States and all that, and you're there supporting them. But watching all the other countries kind of come together for one purpose is fun. So I think going to the next Olympics, summer would be cool. Seeing the Summer Olympics somewhere. But yeah, man, what else is there? I've done. I'm going to do the Indy 500 this month. We did the Kentucky Derby last month.
Stanley Cup playoffs. Have you done Formula One?
I did the playoffs. I haven't done Formula One.
Yeah, that's on my list too.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
I just love to go to a race, to a Formula One race, much less cover it.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but do the people that are actually broadcasting it, are they even there? And don't the people that are broadcasting, they're not actually there,
They're
are
not
they?
there, yeah.
So
They're in a
so
they're in a
make that
booth
distinction.
somewhere. They're in a local
I
booth
didn't
somewhere in
Yep.
the States.
Dang.
Yeah, they don't cover it live, so
They take
So-
the
so-
international feed and they voice it over.
right. They
as
don't.
live.
They
from a
cover
booth
it
here.
live,
Yes.
but they don't cover it from the event.
Yeah.
Either way,
Okay.
Speaking of the Indy 500, Patrick asked, what part are you most looking forward to?
I don't know. See, I can't. I don't want to. There's multiple things, so it's not one thing that stands out. I'm excited to stand next to a true Indy car. The cars that I've been around are show cars, cars from the past. There's a difference in our sport between a show car and a car that just competed or a car that's getting ready to compete in that moment. There's a difference. You can see it. I know it when I see it. When I look at a show car, I know it's a show car immediately. And I know there's that difference in IndyCar too. So when I go to the race, I'm gonna be standing next to a car that I know is able to compete and it's got the best of the best, right? That'll be cool to be in the presence of those machines. I'm looking forward to meeting several of the drivers, and seeing how those guys approach their weekend and approach that race. Everybody has been telling me that being on the grid before the race starts is probably the most important thing to witness and be a part of, and I hope to get the chance to sort of have a personal moment, where I'm maybe not working, to take that in even just for a few minutes.
I want to hear I'm dying to hear your take when you come back on that.
Sure. So that'll there's a lot of things that are going to be really cool. Obviously, we're going to hang out with Rut a lot. We're going to do I'm guessing, I haven't heard anything from NBC about the plans, but I'm assuming that it's going to be very similar to what me and Rut did at the Derby, which I love to do with Rut. He's a ton of fun. Plus, I get to basically see all elements of an event when I'm with Rut, because he's going to go everywhere. Instead of sitting in a booth the entire time or on top of a pit box the entire time, I get to sort of hop around and see. Because the Indy 500, to me, I'm sure it's more than just about pit road. It's more than just about being on the grid. It's more than just about the garage. I mean, there's so many places at that racetrack that have history, and obviously we're going to go to Snake Pit. Everybody knows that's where everybody's at.
I have friends that go to the Snake Pit every year, and I swear they don't even have a clue that a race is going
Right.
on. Like, they have no clue there's actually a race.
Sure. So, I mean, I want to see all these layers to it.
CB Dream Ever 80 wants to know, what's your favorite all-time rock band?
Oh man, that's
Tough questions
so
today.
hard. Yeah, one of my favorite singers is Matthew Good. He's from Canada. I've been a fan of his since the late '90s. A band that I've been a big fan of here over the last several years is Danger Summer. They just got a new album out called Mother Nature, and Three Doors Down. I was a big fan of theirs. They just have so many great singles. R.E.M. A lot of alternative. I was a huge Nirvana fan, Pearl Jam fan, and so through the year, Everclear, all the bands that came out of that sort of grunge alternative wave in the 90s, I was a huge fan of that. And that's typically, if I'm gonna go pop in a station from streaming radio, 9 times out of 10 it's gonna be 90s alternative, and yeah, so that's pretty much my genre.
All right, last question. We get this one often. Brandon Hurley wants to know, how did you and Mike meet?
You get this question often?
Yeah,
Wow,
people
really?
ask us a lot, like how you guys, because you guys have such a good relationship.
Yeah.
They want to know how it all started.
Mike was hired. Jade Gerst was sort of my PR guy, publicist. He did a little bit of everything he was the link between me and Budweiser. Budweiser hired his company, Fingerprint, to manage that relationship and have me where I needed to be at all times. There was a lot going on with Budweiser, and it was always a busy time with them doing productions and so forth, and meet and greets and whatever. Eventually, Jade was getting so busy and actually successful with his company that he hired Mike, and Mike became that guy that would travel with me and go, give Jade a couple weekends off, and it became more and more, and next thing you know. Mike's the guy at the race. Mike's the guy at the production. Mike's the guy at the, Jade still went to those big key events to make sure that the relationship was strong and healthy. But Mike became the guy that I spent a lot of time with. And luckily, when the opportunity came about for us to get him over here at Junior Motorsports, he was interested in making that change because it's been one of the best hires that I've ever made as a driver and as a businessman to bring Mike over here. And what you've done, we can go on and on. He's wore a ton of hats at this place.
Yeah, that was 2004 when he hired me. That was a long time ago. So, that was actually when I started with Jade. 2004, First race, won the Daytona 500. I was like,
oh, wow.
Yeah,
Best job ever.
Best decision ever. Yeah.
All right, guys, that's all we have time for today.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to the Ask Junior portion of the show on our YouTube channel for Dirty Mo Media. Thanks Nationwide for sponsoring this. Appreciate all the great questions as usual. You guys deliver. Thanks for tuning in, listening. The podcast will be out later this evening. Martin Truex Jr. is the guest. We got a lot of the conversation in there as well. Make sure you tune in later tonight on Twitter and Instagram on those social Dirty Mo Media, Twitter, Dirty Mo Media, Instagram to be able to see when Matthew drops that podcast later this evening. Don't forget to tune in to NBCSN tomorrow at 5 o'clock.
Actually,
no.
About that.
What is it?
It's some weird time, like midnight, right?
So have some beers.
Are you kidding? Oh, wow.
Have some beers, stay up late.
We're on at midnight.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
that's when they say it's prime time in the TV world.
That's prime.
NBCSN will be on it sometime Tuesday.
Wednesday.
Maybe Wednesday. And just do your best to catch that.
DVR is a great thing.
Yeah. All right.